All right, guys. Here it is. The finals underway. Rushies is here. It's actually funny. He readied up as soon as we went to break, which makes me think Conspiracy, he was watching the whole time and just waiting to see how much me and Ryan were going to fill for. But now, hey, we called his bluff. We went to a break, and he's like, all right, we'll get it started. NRG versus Reciprocity. Here's the finals. Best of 3 on Training Grounds to start us off. It's going to be a good one. Already off the rip, though. I got to say, Reciprocity coming out, guns blazing.
See Mental going for that last second break. He is going to get the touch that is needed. A strong start from Reciprocity. You're going to see Franchise picking up some of these kills. Icy going to get taken out in the process. Franchise still living at the A hill right in front of Praise, who finally drops him off the map. 3v3 on each side. Reciprocity ends the initial essentially with about a 40-point lead. And now they get a chance to kind of set up and see where NRG gets to push next.
All right, let's see what's going to be happening. Solar's in a fight. Missed a couple shots onto Kenny. No worries, though. He'll go back off. Summons is, in fact, going to be able to finish him off, and that's why you have teammates. Power is going to be finished himself. And then Icy on the other side of Solar's. And I don't think Solar's is maybe tracking this. I think he's got an inkling that somebody is on that other side, but finally he's going to be spotted, called out, and marked by Summons. And then, of course, you will see Solar's go on to the flank and try and take him out. Overall, though, I gotta say, Reciprocity came out strong. NRG is answering back, but for how long? Reciprocity still leads the way, 135-73, and 2 go down for NRG, so maybe Reciprocity can keep a hold of this lead.
With that double home, they're going to see Rush push forward. They want to get this kill on the Mental. They do just that. Solars and Summons, the last 2 remaining members. Meanwhile, you're going to see each of them fighting to try to get that kill on the Icy, which they end up doing. Powers there for the trade. Things are looking good so far for Reciprocity. It's them edging over towards B. Kenny with that line of sight. Franchise get up there. The Lancer 2. Summons trying to close the gap. Isn't going to be able to do it. Franchise gets that meat shield. Going to likely get that break on the B. That's going to put extra pressure now on the NRG. They have to get to an objective one way or another. They were forced to scramble 3 hills, and they have none of them. Solar sitting back in spawn. I think they know this round is all but over. NRG strikes first in our grand finals. They go up 1-0 on Training Grounds.
Yeah, actually, Reciprocity will take the lead. Yeah, Reciprocity will take the lead over.
Long night.
No, I get it, and I was about to highlight this, by the way. I normally don't talk about, of course, the respawn economy off the rip because it's really not that important, at least in the earlier portions of the game. I noticed Mental got all the way down to just 2 respawns off that first game. He died quite a bit of times, and it's because he was trying to get into those hills and, of course, be the entry guy, the entry fragger, if you will, but he died quite a bit, and that's something you have to watch out for. If Reciprocity continues to slay the way they've been doing so, NRG's respawn economy is going to tank, and Reciprocity is going to profit off of that and just continue to win round after round after round. But overall, this was Reciprocity's pick. Training Grounds is obviously looking fruitful. It's only round 1, but it's a great start.
Definitely off to a hot start. Let's see how they fare in round number 2, hopping on board with the captain of Reciprocity. It is going to be Franchise rocking those brand new Reciprocity weapon skins.
Love
the first wave of esports skins have recently hit the shop. Stuns come in, explosive. Little captain on captain crime there makes Franchise pay. It's going to be first blood coming in for NRG. So the push coming in. Rush going to be taken down as well. Damage coming in from all angles. Solars is there to aid his team. That's going to be at least 3 going down. That is going to be 4. Power is the last alive as his teammates are off spawn. You're going to see them sort of trying to challenge Summons everything he can. He gets down. Things are looking good now for NRG. On the flip side, round number 1, very dominant for Reciprocity. Round number 2, looking even more dominant for NRG. Just like that, 45 seconds later, we find ourselves tied at 1 round apiece.
That is the way you answer back right there. The fact that they go through, they get the trip cap right off the rip. How long did that whole round take? I
45 seconds.
45 seconds. Absolute insanity. I think the quickest round we've seen tonight is about 36 seconds overall, and that's impressive. NRG is looking to match that, but 45 is definitely setting the precedent, saying Reciprocity, that round 1, it was a fluke. It's not going to happen again. We're going to lead the way from this point forward. Good answer in return. Like you said, that captain-on-captain fight, man, hey, you hate to see it, but as a spectator, you love to see it. But overall, at the end of the day, let's see how this round is going to go. Round number 3 coming your way. Respawn economy has now went back up. Mental's at 4 total lives, so everything is as it should be, and we are looking okay. That fight over on A is going to be going down. Rush is going to be tagged up, and he is going off, actually, onto NRG. That's going to be at least 1 player getting dropped. Go ahead and pick up his teammate. Mental's on the other side. That shockwave, though, the shock is going to be stopping. At least Rushies for pushing up just time being. It has dissipated. And now the one-on-one, the mano-a-mano fight is going down, and it is, in fact, going to be Rushies getting at least the advantage there onto Mental, taking him out. And that's going to be 2 down on the side of NRG. Reciprocity with the man advantage.
Off to a good start so far. You're going to see Praise surveying sort of the middle of the map. Going to get the spot onto Franchise as they push over towards that B hill. No one copping on just quite yet. You're going to see a lot of resources on both teams. Franchise sitting kind of in that little corner over there. Utility starts to come in. Praise cut out that line of sight. He knows exactly where his former teammate Franchise is. Gets a couple shots, and he's going to get drilled from the side. Reciprocity using some great teamwork, taking out Praise. Fran taken to full red, but it was not enough. The B hill now in favor of the Swarm team. They're the ones now with the control. They're the ones with the angles. Mental stuck in a tough spot. His teammate Rushies tries to go get those kind of last few bullets in there, but they get met by some Lancer fire of their own.
Mental's had a hard game so far. It's only been 2 rounds, but it seems as if they are really singling him out, him as well as Praised. But every single time that we're spectating, Mental is just not necessarily getting destroyed, but he's getting knocked out quite a few times, and it definitely breaks my heart to see, but I know Mental has it within him to come through big in the end. Kenny's going to have some pressure applied to him. Fight should be ensuing over there. Explosive knows there's going to be somebody just down below him. He'll go ahead and take his time. Mental actually might help him if the call-out is effective. Overall, still at a standstill. Reciprocity's got all the angles locked in. NRG's looking to make a move. They're on B.
AC Franchise still in that corner. Teamfire coming from both ends. I'm loving what Reciprocity's doing. Unfortunately, Mental is there to kind of clean up and ruin the fun. 3 hills currently being capped by NRG just like that. All of Reciprocity's positioning just seems to be just absolutely wiped off the map. Luckily for Reciprocity, Rushies is there on the hill to give his team some time to spawn. You're going to see Icy and Powers up momentarily. Rushies trying to fight Solars. Has some teamfire coming in from Explosive. Can he get there? He does end up closing the gap, getting the chunks at the very least. Rushies making the best of that situation. The C hill now back in Reciprocity's favor. Unfortunately for them, NRG has sort of taken control of the time lead. Numbers slowly getting back in their favor. They do need to make their way either over towards that B hill or they need to make the full OE over to A. It looks like B has been their choice. You've seen the member summons. They need to get him out of there if they're going to have a chance to get this hill. He's still somehow staying alive over there. He finally goes down. Now Explosive going to be once again challenged by Franchise. Who's going to win the battle of the captains? And it's going to be Explosive taking out Franchise. That's going to give him a lane right over to that C hill. Things are looking good for NRG after that big kill and big rotation by the team captain.
Definitely so. It's getting kind of hairy, right? You looked at Reciprocity. They're about 20 seconds away from winning. Now totally reversed down to 13 seconds with the cap, but watch out. A is, in fact, going to be capped from Reciprocity. Now B is going to be counter-capped, though, over from the side of NRG. They've also got C, and that should be enough, but talk about a close call at the end of it. Reciprocity pretty much in control of the entirety of the game, but NRG turned things around, and a great job from them. They'll take the victory 250 to 240. The round is 2-1.
Yeah, definitely a hard-fought round on both ends, like you saw. To me, like the biggest thing was when Explosive was able to get that kill up top and kind of rotate it over to C. That just almost put the nail in the coffin for Rec, right? It forced him to kind of have to turn around, have to worry about that home mill, have to worry about B at the same time. As I said, too much going on, too late into the round. You're going to start to see the first wave of power weapons come in. First one being placed, of course, by NRG. Let's see if Reciprocity chooses to match it or if they choose to throw something over on the center line. Looks like they're going to match it, of course. We do see the drop shot, obviously, almost placed every single time, unless it is on the center line. Both teams now coming out with a rocket on their side.
Gonna see that B fight again, right? It's been captain on captain violence ever since the round 1. Of course, the focus will be, of course, on to the drop shots for the time being, and then they'll go ahead and make their way through. Meanwhile, Rushies and Mental seems as if it'll be the first engagement. Rushies takes a pop shot. He'll get at least a little bit of a connection, but it's not going to be enough. The drop shot is going to miss, at least onto the... Oh, my... It's a bloodbath, and it's all red. Reciprocity comes through, summons. He's the last alive. Reciprocity dominates the beginning.
Yeah, Rec absolutely wiped them clean on that initial summons. The last member alive. He's going to be dropped as well. Domination coming in. 4 seconds. Let's see if NRG chooses to spawn back up. They're trying. They do get the first touch. If they get chunked here, though, that will be it. They have to get the full decap. They do end up getting the entire decap onto C. That will let them fight for another short period of time. Explosive in the kill feed. He gets taken out. Traded out by Praise. Trades come in for Reciprocity. Praise goes down. Mental being shot from absolutely everywhere. Hits a nice spread to down Franchise as his teammate picks it up. So just a lot of back and forth trades. Reciprocity trying to finish this round right here, right now. They don't get the down on Mental. They don't get the kill. They down him, but they do not finish him off. Solar's able to get up and to revive his teammates. So at the very least, Reciprocity does enter sort of this 4th round with a massive, massive lead, right? They have, what, 111 to 22, so definitely a good start for them despite not getting the trip cap. All they got to do is just play together, right? Play some good defense and secure this lead.
Only thing that worries me, though, NRG's been known to turn things in their favor, and they might do just that coming up. 37 to 144. I mean, you're right, though. I mean, the point lead is pretty massive on the side of Reciprocity, but before long, even if NRG gets a 2 cap, it's not going to be enough to close that gap. They're going to either have to do a squad wipe, team wipe, or they're going to have to go through and, of course, just go for the triple cap, and both of those things are incredibly difficult to do, even if you are the team of NRG. But hey, anything is possible. Look at Praise, right? He's only sitting at 1 respawn. That's tough to see. You also have Mental sitting at 2. Respawn economy continues to go down. I'm looking over on the right side, though. You got 3 players who are above 3. Definitely Reciprocity is favorited for that end. Curious what Explosive's going to be up to. Does he go for B by himself and just, you know, kind of commit to it and go for the break? I don't think it's worth it. Honestly, ditch the round.
Yeah, they know. I mean, like I said, it was at the 230 mark. They had 2 members down. Like you see Summons even throwing a little emote out there for good measure, just throwing the life away. Of course, not wasting a respawn, just throwing the life away. And Reciprocity answers back with a round of their own. 2 minutes and 30 seconds later, we find ourselves at 2-2. We knew that this matchup always brings us intensity, and we're seeing it so far, neck and neck. And Rushy's 20 elims through 4 rounds.
That's insane, right?
He was a big, they said he was a big catalyst in that kind of initial fight. We saw Reciprocity, you mentioned the kill feed being entirely red. Rushy's was sort of behind the enemy lines in that fight, shooting some big, big damage shots with that Nasher and making it look easy.
Hey, man, he took some time to get to this final match, made us wait, but clearly it was worth it. Whatever he did is definitely paying dividends. 20 kills in a total of 4 rounds. That is impressive no matter who you are. Let's see how this round 5 is going to go down and who is going to remain victorious. Well, you definitely got to be on to the lookout of Franchise off the rip. Nice stuns are going to come through. He's not going to be stunned himself and tries to go through. As you know, the player straight in front of him was stunned, but hey, he's not going to be able to do it. Kenny, though, with the drop is going to be getting that kill on to Mental. And here goes Franchise. Snipe in the back, plus the shot, the 1-2 punch, as you like to call it. It comes in. And then Franchise, of course, backing up Praise, doing some massive damage. Good job, though, with the pinch with Kenny and Franchise to get the knock onto one player. Franchise gets the finish on the other. Mental and Solar's last 2 up.
Great rotation coming in from Kenny. It was a good 2v2 fight that Rec was doing well, but when Kenny rotated over, it was a nail in the coffin for NRG's remaining players. Nice with the trip cap coming in. Mental has to hop in that B hill in time. He cannot get there before the trip cap sounds. Reciprocity making it look easy. 52-second round. They take their first lead of the grand finals.
Well, this was their map pick, and rightly so. They're looking good. Hey, Rushy's only got 2 kills that game, but can you blame him? It was a short round, so overall, he was able to come through and capitalize and look pretty solid. Reciprocity, they keep that energy going. Nothing is going to be able to stop them, not even energy. Overall, though, what do you think NRG needs to do to make a difference here? I mean, obviously, they've been getting outslayed. I think that's the biggest issue here.
Yeah, I mean, basically they keep losing sort of that initial fight on the opposite end of the B hill, right? You saw kind of Rushies and the gang do a number of just quick wipe kills 2 rounds ago, and then the start of this past round, you saw Reciprocity open it up with a drop shot kill. So I think that because both teams sort of, at least up until this point, had a drop shot each, they're both locked now. Like I said, using that drop shot, I'm a firm believer in making that kind of the catalyst of your push, making that kind of what you use to open it up.
Break is going down once again. Franchise on your screen. How's the stun going to connect? Oh, it just misses that Praise. That's okay. He'll go ahead and back up. Maybe find a different angle, but all is quiet except for Mental, who does in fact lose his life early on along with the Rushies. So Franchise will go ahead and take that overhang position. He's got a huge area he can look over as well as B. But I love the fact that NRG off this initial, hey, they didn't really focus too much on the slaying power. They focused on the objectives. Getting that B and C is great. Now they just got to focus on the angles, and they're going to look solid.
Yeah, an Explosive kind of holding that power position, that ever so god corner, whatever you want to call it, over towards the B hill. Makes it so hard for these teams to push through, right? Can't be seen from the overlook. Okay, just have all the lines in the sight of the world towards the neutral hill. So NRG racking up a 40-point lead already in this round. Looking to tie this up in the first half. These are the quickest spawns we're going to have in the first half. So you got to make these kills count. Trades coming in from each side. Mental gets 1. Rush gets another. Explosive gets 1. Fran gets another. Trades coming in 3v2 situation. Got a 4v2.
Solars from a distance, Lancer fire to get some chip damage. That's going to be another knock. But meanwhile, Mr. Krabs coming through. Reciprocity going for the trip cap. Break is going to happen onto C, though, as NRG makes a great heads-up play to rotate over. And now it's going to be business as usual. And with that attempt, it still directed NRG's forces over towards Charlie, and that gave Reciprocity an opportunity to close that deficit. But you see NRG quickly making quick work of that, at least some of that lead that they lost, or at least some of that, I believe at one point they had a 50-point lead. Now they're going to be back up to B and C, but again, some more kills going through. 3 players down for NRG.
Yeah, Explosive being so active there too, and just watching some of his teammates kind of fall right around him as he's putting in so much damage. Reciprocity looking strong at the end of this team fight. They get now control of B. They're heading up towards kind of that overlook side. I think they know that Praise is up there. They need to get him off this spot. Initial damage in. Rushy sees a nice full spread. Praise knows he has to kind of back up. Icy is there behind him. Beautiful teamwork coming in from the boys on Reciprocity. Finish off Praise. Summons. Got to be dropped over at B as well. Rec only down 10 points. They can get control of this B hill once again. That will be a huge step for them as they try to edge towards winning their 4th round. 2-cap is underway. We're heading towards the 200 mark. This is exactly where you want to be if you are Reciprocity. You're set up. You have players in the right positions. Just about racking up time playing defense.
It's so incredibly close, man. I mean, it is literally anybody's game now with both teams breaking that 200 mark. Rushy shot from the back. He's just trying to maintain his life, right? He wants to stay up. The same thing with Mental, too. If he goes down, that's going to be bad. But, I mean, time is just, it's so close anyways. And finally, he is going to get the jump on one player, get some nice damage. He's forced to backtrack, but he gets away, and then he's going to backtrack himself to come onto the flank of Explosives. He's going to go down, but meanwhile, look at B. NRG tried to get it. Not going to be enough in the end. Reciprocity takes their 3rd round in a row to bring it 4-2.
So you can see Rushy's kind of took that split second to decide if he wants to make an OE all the way over to the opposite team's home hill and try and kind of finish the round off that way, or if he has to head back to his own home hill. You kind of saw his character stop for a second. What he ended up choosing was to run over to his home hill, help his teams in the middle of that fight. You saw him put that big final shot into the opposing player, and that's what was able to help them keep that hill. So great heads-up play by Rush. He's making that right decision. That puts Reciprocity up at a 4-2 lead. They are looking very, very strong. That's for one of our finals.
Yes, they are, right? This was their pick. It makes sense. Franchise goes in big with the back A to take out Mental. And then you also got to be looking on the other side, right? There's going to be 2 down, though, for Reciprocity. So Franchise needs to hold his weight ever more so now. And it's going to be, here's that Praise that he's going to be going up against. Just up ahead, he's going to go for the second, and he knows he's going to lose his life, and he gets tapped up. Are you kidding me?
Icy saves him. Fran gets the kill onto Explosive, almost takes the second one out. He gets dropped, and his teammate is there. Look at the teamwork coming in once again from Reciprocity. Powers helping out Fran. They're doing everything together. I love what I'm seeing from this Swarm team as they are taking absolute control of this first map. Solars trying his best to stay alive. He's going to get pinched now by Rushy's Teamfire coming in. Look at the Lancers from Reciprocity looking like that old Envy team we talk about so much when it comes to teamwork. A little partial to that team myself, so, you know, love using that comparison. And now Rush gets one, almost gets the second one. Summons, equalizes it before being dropped himself.
Five
Make
now?
that 5. Reciprocity.
Wow.
Speaking of 5, that's their 5th round on the board. 4 in a row. They are looking poised to take this first map.
My goodness. 4 in a row to bring it to 5-2. Not bad at all. Look at the kills, right? Franchise at 33. Rushy's at 34 himself. I think there's another 30 bomb on that team as well. Absolutely unreal. Whew. I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. This is the final that I wanted because, hey, this is Training Grounds, right? Reciprocity's pick. But we're also moving into Asylum, which is NRG's pick and probably NRG's favorite map. So it's like game 3 is pretty much guaranteed almost at this point. But what you said before, though, Reciprocity has to win this game 1 if they want a chance in this series to take it. And they are capitalizing on that moment. To have a lead like 5-2 against a team such as NRG, that's impressive.
Yeah, I think this positions them so much better, right? Again, they're going into potentially a map number 2. Of course, they got to finish map number 1. We've seen NRG make a number of comebacks. So I no means want to be the guy who casts or curses, you know, my former captain in his team. But yeah, like, so we've seen them come back. But if they do end up taking this first map, that'll position them so much better. We've seen what NRG can do on Asylum. So giving yourself sort of that little bit of padding to say, okay, if we lose second map, it's fine. We still have that chance on NASCAR, which we've seen NRG shows some signs of weakness on Vaskar, so I wouldn't necessarily, hate that as the tiebreaker map. In the meantime, though, they cannot let NRG back into this first map. You're going to see the first initial kind of going right into their hands. Power's the last member remaining. Looks like he's not going to be under any kind of duress. These are going to be pretty long spawns still, so he's going to let his teammates spawn back up. Let's see how Reciprocity decides to answer.
Being a good teammate, getting some picks up, but he himself is coming under some Lancer fire. So you got two people stuck in the corner. They're still going to go for the push, and they went literally straight into Praise. Clearly didn't work out at all. That's going to be 3 down, onto the side of Reciprocity. Good recovery from NRG, and a good job at just locking down those lanes in general with not only the Lancer fire, but also using, of course, the shotties to the best of their ability, getting those kills. NRG still remains on top. They've got a nice sized lead, but more importantly, they're knocking down that respawn economy onto the side of Reciprocity, while in the meantime gaining a nice size cushion in the point lead.
Absolutely, you're seeing Kenny kind of surveying where they can make their push, right? You're seeing all the resources on Reciprocity heading towards that E hill. They got to figure out which member of NRG they want to target first, right? Where are they going to throw their utility? Where's their push going to be? Of course, no Mental is in that kind of god spot up top, right? Just basically can see a little bit of everything. He's going to start to get some of that initial fire, and Solar's answers back with a boom shot. Mental does get a lease down, hasn't been cleaned up just yet. Franchise dropped as well. Revives start to come in. Icy, 2 members in front of him. He's going to be taken out. NRG holding very, very well. 4 members go down. Not a single life taken on the COG side. And now you see Powers retreating, trying everything he can to stay alive so his team does not get hit with a full wipe. I don't anticipate anyone on Reciprocity using their spawns. You can see NRG already at 215 seconds. This round is all but over.
Yeah, 100%, right? And the only person who's going to map is Powers. And even if I'm him, I'm just trying to maintain my life. I'm not even trying to engage. But I think one of the players from NRG is actually trying to go into 1v1. It's going to be Praise. No chill at all. Praise goes through, knocks him out. He says, hey, check this out. You're not just going to live. Your team's going to lose. You're all going to lose together, rightly so. 5-3 is going to be the scoreline. NRG stops the bleeding. It took 4 rounds to get here, but maybe this is the light at the end of the tunnel to start making that comeback.
Absolutely. NRG need to claw back in this. Like I said, my gut says that, trying to remember back, this was the map that Reciprocity started off hot when these two teams played in the Pro League. Someone in chat can maybe kind of clarify that for me or confirm it, but this is a big map for Rec. They cannot let NRG claw back in, because the more you let them claw back in, the closer you let them get, the scarier things start to get. It looks like both teams going to likely start to build a lot of the same. You do see that boom shot, though, placed on the center line. That does mean, Taylor, that the boom shots cannot be placed on the secondaries. Instead, you see teams elect to start throwing some utility out there. So I always love when the boom gets placed or the drop gets placed on the center line. It kind of takes away a little bit from the mass, four explosive thing, and it gives something a little to fight over. So loving what I'm seeing in terms of these placements.
And that fight has kind of been highlighted for the entirety of this time, right? That over on E as well. Nice stunts coming through. Solar's, though, is going to capitalize onto Rushies, and Icy taking him out. Kenny, though, is going to even it out with the drop of his own onto Praise. But look at Kenny not stopping. He gets the chunk onto one. That's going to be Mental. Goes over towards Solars. He's getting the drop plus the finish. Explosives and summons. Kenny is literally taking on the entirety of NRG, and he's making it happen.
We are seeing an egg move with momentum right now over at the E-Hill. Kenny is making it look easy, putting in damage, getting those chunks, trying to take out summons, put the icing on the cake. The stuns come in from both sides. Praise tries to help. Another stun in the mix. Rush gets one. Icy gets them both. Rush even downs his own teammate for good measure before Mental gets dropped as well. Reciprocity lighting up the kill feed over at this E-Hill, taking control. This will net them that cap. They will begin to build a time lead, and they will secure that centerline boom shot.
What am I watching? Orange is the New Black with all the shanks that was just happening on the map. That's absolute insanity. Good stuff coming out from Reciprocity. Kenny is feeling himself. Man, how many kills has he got just alone? Like maybe 4, 5 kills alone?
Eliminations everywhere, right? Got a couple chunks in there, got a couple beautiful bricks onto that E-Hill. Kenny was putting in so much work for his team, made that team fight so much easier, and that's what netted them that power up, and that's what netted them this time lead. You see NRG making their way over now towards that double home hill. We've seen a number of times, Taylor, that when they lose that neutral hill, their next progression is always over towards that home hill. See see if they can do it. At Mental, going to try and rotate that drop shot over there, try to bring their power up and secure them a little more positioning when it comes to this double home mill. That might get 2. It's going to get at least 1. No, it gets 0. Put some damage in, but not a single kill with the drop shot. If you're Reciprocity, you are smiling, grinning ear to ear right now. That power weapon is out of their hands. Now you get to be the ones to take back control of your home hill. But for how long? Kenny gets the almost. Oh, he didn't even get the break actually before being taken down. It's going to be big for NRG. They actually managed, despite missing the drop shot, despite missing that catalyst, are cleaning up the map. That's already 4 dead. What has just happened on the Reciprocity home hill?
Mental just happened. Came through like a wrecking ball and totally destroyed the entirety of Reciprocity. The trip cap coming into effect. Will a break go down?
Don't do it.
It
Oh
will not,
my.
and they did it, Ryan. NRG, second round in a row to bring the score 4-5. And I got to tell you, with that round win, I think we're going to start seeing some emotes and start seeing that that confidence plays from NRG coming out, because they got to be feeling themselves. They're feeling good. NRG, you give them an inch. Give them an inch, and they will just run with it.
When I used to coach, I used to call those optic rounds. Obviously, when they're the optic gaming team, right? Those are sometimes we would call optic rounds. When things are looking all in your team's favor, life is good. You have the position, you have the setup. Something happens like a missed drop, and then next thing you know, your team just gets blown off the map. Those are definitely some unfortunate rounds. Again, luckily for Reciprocity, they do still have that lead, right? It's not like that was, the deciding round for the map or anything. They still had that lead. They still had that.
They had it by 3, though.
But they need to up the sense of urgency right now. They cannot let NRG tie this back up. They need to take that lead, extend it, and finish this first map off if they're going to have a good chance in this series. Hopping on board again with Mental. Made a lot of big plays last time despite missing that drop shot. See if he can answer back and make up for it. Sun's going to come in. Going to get some good damage, and the drop shot comes in. That's going to grab 2 for his teammate. That is going to be
3
Solar's.
down.
Make sure that's going to be 3. This could be
That's
a 4.
4.
And now Powers, once again, the last alive over at his home hill.
Oh, no. And Powers has been in this position before where his teammates didn't even want to spawn up. This is tough. I mean, obviously his teammates are going to come back for it, but he's getting lit up with the Lancer Fire. He's pinned. Mental's on the other side of him. He's getting dropped. Franchise will pick him up, but
Solars again.
wow, the
double
boom
kill
shot from the distance. Solars on the Powers and Franchise. Unreal, Ryan.
Back-to-back double kills coming in for Solars with those power weapons. NRG, despite the early round dominance, still have a pretty small lead. So Reciprocity still very much in this round. You're seeing Kenny getting the kill onto Praise, trying to advance her numbers. Solars taking the 99, call it 99 point. See if they can finish it off. The kill comes in. Powers hits a beautiful shot, finishes that off. I'm loving the confidence I'm seeing out of the young Slayer in Powers. Now Mental, 2 members of Reciprocity in front of him. Just looks so intimidating. Both players don't want to even get close to him.
Oh, no.
Finally, it takes.
It took all 4 of them firing
army.
Lancer at him to take Mental out. He is doing that well. Absolute insanity. And Reciprocity will stop the bleeding for the time being, but what a start. What an initial and even middle game, right, for NRG. They played so incredibly well, but even with all of that good performance, Reciprocity still in control and will win off these 2 hills alone. But we know NRG's coming back with a vengeance, and all it takes is a couple of kills, and all of a sudden they are back on those hills, taking the lead once again, and they might be able to do so. Let's see what Reciprocity is going to be up to. How are they going to go about stopping the next push from NRG?
Yeah, you're going to see the time lead slowly move towards Reciprocity's favor. You're going to see Solars once again with the drop shot in his hand. He's made some massive plays with the power up, and so far, those marks are going to be so key for him to know exactly where to shoot that thing. You're going to see Icy getting the down on the summons. Mental got to kind of just watch his teammate fall in front of his eyes. Reciprocity now in position to take this round and push themselves to a 6-4 scoreline. What can NRG do to try to tie this back up? You're going to see Solars getting tagged up. Keep in mind, still has that drop shot. Does not want to go down without putting that thing to use. Getting tagged from all directions. Loving this team fire from Reciprocity. Rush is going to down Praised. Across the 220 mark. Split push has to come in at the very least. Solars gets one with the shotgun. Powers equalizes it. Kenny goes down.
Oh.
Solars drop by Powers. Oh. Mental drop by Powers. 2-piece coming in. There's nothing NRG can do. Reciprocity finishes off the round as they should. They find themselves on map point on our first map of our grand finals.
Hey, it was looking a little bit scary, right? But Reciprocity's looking to close this out and close it out right now. They do not want NRG to take this first game. Look at Kenny. 43 total elims. There's another player on there with 42 just down the line. That is, in fact, going to be Rushy's. Nice stuff coming out. But Kenny, I mean, seriously, go a couple rounds back. I mean, he was just absolutely slaying out. He's been slaying out basically for the entirety of this game. But really, you got to owe some success to that, right? I mean, because he's been slaying out in those moments where it absolutely matters, specifically whenever they were over there fighting for E. And great stuff coming out for them. I'm excited to see how this is going to continue on.
Absolutely. Now you're going to see shot grenades starting to enter the fold. It's going to be on the COG side. Boom shot, again, on that center line. Something to fight for. Both teams had that drop shot. Both teams with that full utility on the back end. See what they choose to do. Who puts that drop shot to work first? Swords had a big double last time. Explosive. Jumps in. Kenny takes up his teammate actually with the drop shot. Franchise equalizes it before being dropped himself. 3v4 situation, about to be potentially a 3v3. Solar's doing a little bit of bobbing and weaving. Takes out Icy. Now Kenny has to make a big play. Surrounded by members of NRG. The shot comes in. There's nowhere he can go. Clean initial coming in so far from Reciprocity, or I'm sorry, NRG, or is it? Powers comes in and gets the two-piece. I think in the end, though, NRG will come out with that E-Hill, but Franchise is there, and he gets one. Can he get two? That's the boom shot player. Oh, he makes a miss, and he gets a second one. Franchise absolutely embarrasses Mental and Summons at the E-Hill, makes him waste the boom shot.
Franchise!
Beautiful plays coming in from the captain of Reciprocity.
Wow.
Put them both on skates and takes the E-Hill right from under their nose.
And imagine if that is the play right there that puts Reciprocity up to take over the first game. Talk about NRG being embarrassed. Fantastic work from Franchise. The man just cannot be stopped. NRG now having to think about how they want to push this fight. They're looking at a total of 4 players from Reciprocity, but Solars isn't scared. He got the stun on Franchise. He's pushing in. This is an opportunity for him to pick up a couple himself. He goes and backs up. Franchise applying that pressure. He'll back up himself. Icy in a tough position. Nothing you could do there. And Solars, though, will continue to back up the team of Reciprocity. Drop shot is going to come through. It connects onto Explosive, but still, E has been neutralized. Reciprocity, they're feeling the pressure. They've got to push forward, but Solars isn't having any of it. That's going to be 2 down. Can they get 3? Yes, they can onto Rushies. But overall, man, this is getting crazy. NRG is answering back. Reciprocity, can they regain control?
What a sequence of events when it's all said and done. It is going to be NRG with the 2 cap. Reciprocity coming off spawn. They still have a little bit of a lead. Of course, it'll be erased fairly quickly with these hills going 2-1 in the new escalation. Seeing the members of Reciprocity instantly heading over to that E-hill. I think they know they've spotted Solars. They know where at least one of the lances are going to come from. Maybe how they use this utility. Splash coming in. Look at the team fire coming in, Taylor, from the opposite side of the map. Explosive, though, answers back with a double kill with the drop shot.
Fantastic stuff.
Time lead now being shifted over to the COG team's favor.
But did you point out that Rushies is out?
I did not.
Yeah, Rushies is completely out, so now it's going to be a constant 5v4, and that's something to look out for, too. Icy is also potentially coming off of the respawn. He's going to be on his last life, too. Franchise is very close to himself. So if you're looking at the respawn economy from NRG, they are superior. They're looking good. So now I'm a little bit worried now about Reciprocity. They start getting slayed out. Hey, even if they're not even making bad plays, NRG has the respawn economy. That could play into effect moving forward. NRG could turn this around.
Yeah, just kind of taking a look at it. You see Rush with 1. I think Icy with 2. I think I saw a member on NRG as well that might have had 2, maybe 2 members with 2 respawns. But yeah, that would say the economy definitely sort of favoring NRG right now. I mean, when it comes to Reciprocity, like I said, if they get sort of a team wipe early, right, one of those quick kind of rounds where they dominate, get the hills, whatever it may be, that could be the difference maker. But yeah, those extended rounds definitely going to favor NRG with the current respawn bank in their favor.
This is getting great. I'm loving this. This is playing out like one of the best finals I've seen yet whenever it comes to Emergence days in general. Even going back to the other 14 weeks that we casted for Gears 4. This breakout's going to be important. Obviously fighting over for the boom. Franchise has been the guy to lead his way in. Stuns are going to be thrown out.
Drop shot coming in. I believe that is the NRG drop shot that was shot first. Solar is not going to be able to connect. Got to be careful. He's getting torn up from the other end of the map. I don't know if the Reciprocity drop shot's been used just yet. Fran kind of blocking his teammate there on accident, and that's going to end up getting them both down. Unfortunate kind of timing, blocking each other. Now Explosive just has the absolute god angle behind enemy lines. Not looking good for Reciprocity on this initial. That's going to be 3 members down. Kenny and Powers on the other end, though, making things happen.
Ooh.
Despite having that angle behind them, Rec stays strong. They hold their ground. They're finding themselves now in a bit of a power position. cannot believe NRG didn't kind of close the gap on that.
Yeah, I mean, you would be thinking they would be doing so, but even so, with Reciprocity looking good, Rushies, he's on his last life, so he's got to maintain that. He can't play as aggressive as he probably once had. With Kenny going down, now the pressure can be applied onto Powers, but they are holding their own. Solar's explosive, go down. Mental answers back onto Powers. Rushies, though, quickly shuts Summons down. That's going to be 3 down onto the side of NRG and only 1 onto the side of Reciprocity. But here's Rushies, right? He's going into the attack. If he doesn't play this right, he goes down. It's going to be a constant 5v4. He's one shot. He gets dropped, and Rushies is now out. It's a 5v4. NRG has the man count permanently for the rest of this round.
Mental, one more respawn of his own. Does he choose to use it or not? He does. So now if Mental gets taken out, we would be in a 4v4. Drop shot coming in. It's going to be explosive going down. Praise gets taken out as well. Now a 4v3 situation for Reciprocity. Both Explosive and Praise have some respawns to their name that they can use. The drop comes in as Kenny picks up the boom shot. He gets taken out. Trades left and right. The neutral hill still untouched. Powers should be able to find that boom on the ground somewhere.
One thing that does
it might have dissolved. They do at least get the cap on E.
But also look at Franchise, right? He's on his last life, and he is one of the, at least been playing out of his mind whenever it comes to this game alone. And he's got to be looking at Summons. He's got to be looking at Mental as well as Praised, and Praised is looking to make that flank. Franchise is going to run straight into him. This is a big 1v1. Franchise has to win this, or else it's going to be a constant 5v3. A good win on his part. He gets to drop. Praised is done.
Good composure coming in from Franchise. Praise having one more respawn to his name. Solar's dropped as well. Reciprocity eating away at the respawn economy for NRG. They can manage to find Mental, if they can manage to find Praise, that would take them out in the same fashion that they do no longer have Rushies or Icy. Again, being that permanent 5v3, such a tough situation. You're seeing NRG just kind of rotate all around the map because they know Reciprocity only has so many resources at their disposal. You're seeing they're just kind of playing games with Franchise over there. They know that they can kind of surround him. 2 members coming over towards E. I think there's only 1 or 2 members over for the Reciprocity side there as well. Drop shots start to come in. Kenny takes out Summons. Summons, again, too many respawns to his name already. And now when it's all said and done, Kenny's the last up. I think they're going to get this round up. That's going to be it. That's going to be 5 dead. Taylor, we are headed to a definitive round 13 on map number 1. NRG has won 4 of the last 5 rounds. If there is a time for Reciprocity to step up, it is now. Respawns. Rough on both sides. 2 members of NRG with 1, 3 members of Rec with 1. These are the quickest spawns, of course, towards the end. The most mayhem. You got to make it count.
Man. And that's rough for Kenny because, I mean, he tried so hard. The fact that Reciprocity got all the way up to 220 points and just didn't have the respawn capacity to be able to hold out, that's tough. That hurts, right? Because you had NRG exactly where you want them, and it just happened to... You know, the respawn economy for NRG was just a little bit too much. But like you said now, right, it's rough on both sides now. So every push you make, especially this initial, this is going to be a big initial push. And whoever wins this initial could, in fact, win this entire round. And it's going to set the precedence. It's going to set the pace. So with that being said...
Oh, and Fran goes the opposite direction, but NRG with a team kill.
That's
numbers,
3 down.
however, in their name.
That's 3 down. Powers and Icy.
4v2.
Last up, Icy's weak. Icy goes down. It's only Powers. And Powers is chilling with the M-bar in the back.
He should be fine to let his team spawn up, but now NRG has control of E. They have control of the boom shot, of course, still having an M-bar. But wondering about, you saw Fran basically flashed off that first player and then went the opposite direction to try to help his teammate out. Unfortunately, they were kind of waiting for him there. You saw how quickly he got downed.
You have 3 players, Icy, Franz, as well as Rushies, who they're on their last life. That is tough. That is tough to say. And Summons as well in the back with the M-bar, right? He connects. He just gets a nice headshot. That's a player down on at least 3 of them. It's going to be rough. Absolutely rough. Reciprocity has to play this perfectly if they want to win this.
Yeah, I mean, basically they have to make a very, very strong push, whether it's an OE push, whether it is towards that E hill. I would try to figure out wherever that boom shot is, and that is exactly where it is, and that's not the way you want to figure it out. Luckily for Reciprocity was there are 2 players that have a lot of respawns, so at the very least, you get to, at least get back in the game, but they need to identify, like I said, where their push is going to be, and time is ticking away, right? They're already down 60 points. There is no more rounds. There's no more padding. This is round 13. This is the map. You do not want to enter NRG's map down 0-1. off the respawn. 5 members for each team. Where is the push going to come in? Solar's getting that drop shot off spawn. I think they start to identify where it is. It's choosing to be an OE. Reciprocity starting to push. NRG trying to pinch. Pistols coming in from each side. Solar's going to get tagged up. Kenny's going to get taken out. Still has another respawn, but again, they don't have time to continue to kind of wipe and respawn, right? They're at the 190 mark. They cannot win on 2 hills. Reciprocity needs to at least make a play over at E, get a wipe, whatever. Their win condition cannot be through these 2 hills.
Time definitely against the side of Reciprocity. But they do have D and F, and against all odds, they're still alive, right? They've managed to avoid the M-bars. They've managed to avoid the drop shots and booms, and they stay alive for the time being. I see Franchise and Rushies have been at 1 respawn this entire time.
Looks like
and they're holding out.
Starting to kind of retreat towards that E hill. I think they know that's their win condition. Reciprocity on the hill for the break. That's going to be a break on E. Kenny goes down, but at least he gets the break. Unfortunately, though, the F hill has been snuck as well. Someone from NRG has snuck over to the F hill. That is going to spell tons of trouble for Rec. Icy goes down. Powers goes down. This is going to be it for Dead. Rushies is all that remains. He cannot hit every hill at once, and Summons making that sneaky play, hitting him with the emote at the end. 5 of the last 6 rounds in favor of our champions, NRG. And they're showing why the defending champs.
My goodness, was that not one of the best first rounds in the finals we have seen? Respawn Economy